Question that pops into my mind is a practical one. You mentioned family practitioners who are the gatekeepers in a lot of ways. Oftentimes I've heard from family medicine doctors that it's too risky to refer outside of my own medical network. And they sort of go like, maybe I'd like to, but I need to keep it within the system. How do we broach that scenario when they're trying to cover their rear ends because of regulations, I guess, that they have? So have you got any ideas about how we might work together with them to?
Sure. I think it's, look, all of us who work in the area of mental health, we are an amazingly closeted group of people. It's extraordinary. And I speak to as somebody who trains successive generations of residents. And I have them observe me interviewing, doing full assessments, which they rarely get to do. They rarely get to see their teachers working. Their teachers watch them work. They don't get to see their teachers work because that's sort of private, right? And, I contrast it with people training in surgery. What do you get to do as a resident in surgery? You watch the surgeons cut all day and all night, and then they watch you cut, but mainly you hold the retractors while they cut, so you can see what it is they do. They have a high degree of accountability, and then every week they have M&M rounds. M&M is not the favorite candy, covered chocolate or peanut. M&M stands for morbidity and mortality. So every week, the surgeons are all accountable to each other for cases that went sour. And they present their mistakes to each other. Right? That's a really high level of visibility and accountability. And all too often, the perception around psychotherapy and counseling is, I don't know what the hell goes on once that door is closed. And who are they accountable? And how would I ever know if the person I'm referring is getting better or is in distress, and how would the family know? So I think this is about being way more open. And I can tell you, my own clinical practice is to meet with the family of every patient that I see. Why? Not because I'm going to be treating the whole family, but they need to know who I am. I need to know who they are. They know way more about the person than I will ever know. And we need to set up rules around communication so that if they're worried, they can call me. If they're worried about their family member. And, I've never had a patient say, I refuse for you to have anything whatsoever to do with my family, as long as the ground rules get established right at the outset. So, I think that for family doctors to become more comfortable, they need to know a lot more about what's the nature of the service you provide, what's the evidence base, what's the accountability, what are the standards, how do I know when the patient's getting better, how will I hear from you? All those things, right? Maintaining that dialogue with the referring clinician is, I think, a really important way to build a sense of cohesion. And family doctors, I can tell you, love to hear back from the people they've referred patients or clients to know, how's that person doing? Or what should I be looking for? What should I be worried about? Anything that improves collegial communication, I think, will reduce the anxiety about referral. Yes?